You wake up early without an alarm. You make your morning tea exactly how you like it. You sit by the window and watch the sunrise. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated. Just you and the quiet morning. And somehow that feels like everything you need. If this sounds like your perfect morning, then you understand something profound. You have discovered what researchers call the simplicity advantage. Stanford University conducted a fascinating study in 2019 about aging and happiness. They found something remarkable about people over 60. Older adults reported higher life satisfaction despite having fewer material possessions. They were not settling for less, they were choosing what truly mattered. The research team tracked over 2,000 participants for 15 years. The results surprised even the scientists themselves. People in their 70s reported more contentment than those in their 30s. The key difference was not wealth or health alone, it was their relationship with simple pleasures. Let me share what science has discovered about this beautiful shift. Your brain actually changes as you age in wonderful ways. The prefrontal cortex becomes better at filtering out unnecessary stress. You naturally focus on what brings genuine joy. Dr. Laura Carstensen from Stanford calls this socio-emotional selectivity theory. As we age, we become better at prioritizing emotional satisfaction. We stop chasing things that do not truly fulfill us. This is not decline. This is wisdom in action. The ancient Greeks understood this thousands of years ago. They had a concept called eudaimonia. It means human flourishing through simple and meaningful living. Aristotle wrote that happiness comes from appreciating what we already have. He believed true contentment grows from gratitude, not acquisition. Modern neuroscience now proves Aristotle was right all along. Japanese culture offers us another beautiful perspective. The concept of wabi-sabi celebrates imperfection and simplicity. It teaches us to find beauty in the ordinary. A chipped teacup tells a story. A weathered garden bench holds memories. These simple things become treasures when we truly see them. Research from Tohoku University in Japan studied this philosophy in 2020. They found that people who practiced wabi-sabi principles reported lower stress. They experienced deeper satisfaction with their daily lives. The study included participants aged 60 to 85. Those who embraced simplicity showed better mental health markers. Their cortisol levels were significantly lower than complexity seekers. Now, let me tell you about the hedonic treadmill. This is a concept from psychology that explains human adaptation. We quickly get used to new things, no matter how exciting. That new car loses its thrill within months. The fancy vacation becomes just another memory. But simple pleasures work differently in our brains. Northwestern University published groundbreaking research on this in 2021. They discovered that repeated simple pleasures do not diminish over time. The joy of morning coffee stays consistent for decades. Walking in nature provides the same emotional boost year after year. These simple activities activate the brain's reward system reliably. Your brain releases dopamine each time without building tolerance. This is why your daily routines still bring you happiness. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating and hopeful. Let us talk about what happens in your brain during simple pleasures. When you enjoy your garden, the visual cortex lights up beautifully. The hippocampus stores these peaceful moments as positive memories. The amygdala, your emotional center, registers safety and contentment. This creates what scientists call a positive feedback loop. Each simple pleasure strengthens neural pathways for future happiness. The Max Planck Institute for Human Development studied this in 2018. They used brain imaging on adults over age 65. Participants who regularly engaged in simple activities showed remarkable results. Their brains had stronger connections in areas related to well-being. They showed less activity in regions associated with anxiety. The difference was clear and measurable on the scans. Now, consider the wisdom of Scandinavian cultures. The Danish concept of hygge celebrates cozy, simple moments. Lighting a candle on a dark evening, sharing a meal with loved ones, reading a book under a warm blanket. These are not escapes from life, these are life itself, fully experienced. Research from the University of Copenhagen confirms this approach works. Their 2020 happiness study surveyed 10,000 older adults. Those who practiced hygge principles rated their lives as highly satisfying. They reported feeling connected to their daily experiences. Material wealth had little correlation with their happiness levels. Simple rituals and routines were the strongest predictors of contentment. Let me share something about attention and appreciation. As we age, our attention becomes more selective and focused. This is actually a superpower, not a limitation. Young people scatter their attention across countless stimuli. Older adults can fully immerse in single experiences. This creates what psychologists call deep engagement. The University of California, Berkeley studied this phenomenon extensively. Their 2019 research revealed that older adults experience more profound joy. They get more emotional richness from simple everyday activities. A sunset is not just colors in the sky, it becomes a moment of genuine awe and connection. This depth of experience is a gift of aging. Ancient Buddhist philosophy has taught this for millennia. The practice of mindfulness means being fully present right now, not dwelling on the past, not worrying about the future, just experiencing this moment completely. Brain scans show that older adults naturally do this better. The default mode network becomes less active with age. This network is responsible for mind wandering and rumination. Less activity here means more presence in the moment. You are literally built for appreciating simplicity now. Consider the psychology of gratitude and simple living. Harvard Medical School conducted a major study on gratitude in 2017. Participants who kept daily gratitude journals showed improved health markers. Blood pressure decreased, sleep quality improved, depression symptoms reduced significantly. The most interesting finding was about what people felt grateful for. Older participants listed simple things far more than younger ones. A good cup of tea, a phone call from a friend, birds singing in the morning. These simple joys filled their gratitude lists consistently, and their health benefits were the strongest in the study. There is deep wisdom in finding joy in small things. Let us explore the concept of enough. Modern culture constantly pushes for more and bigger and better, but older adults often discover the freedom of enough. Enough possessions, enough activities, enough stimulation. This is not giving up or settling down, it is actively choosing peace over chaos. The Yale School of Public Health researched this concept in 2020. They called it voluntary simplicity among older populations. People who embraced enough reported higher life satisfaction. They experienced less financial stress, even with modest incomes. They felt more in control of their lives. Their relationships were deeper and more meaningful. The study tracked participants for 7 years with consistent results. Ancient Stoic philosophy aligns perfectly with modern findings. Marcus Aurelius wrote about finding joy in ordinary moments. He was a Roman emperor with unlimited resources, yet he found peace in simple reflection and nature. His meditations remind us that external things do not create happiness. Internal perspective and appreciation do. Science now confirms what the Stoics knew instinctively. Your ability to enjoy simple things is not a limitation, it is emotional intelligence and psychological maturity combined.
The Cornell University Legacy Project interviewed over 2,000 older adults. They asked for the most important life lessons learned. The overwhelming majority mentioned appreciating simple, everyday moments, not achievements or acquisitions, not status or recognition. Simple connection and presence were valued most. These were people looking back on full lives. Their unanimous message is profound and clear. Let me tell you about the neuroscience of routine and comfort. Your brain creates strong neural pathways through repetition. Morning routines become almost meditative over time. The basal ganglia stores these patterns efficiently. This frees up cognitive resources for appreciation and joy. You can fully experience your coffee because making it is automatic. This is not monotony. This is mastery, creating space for mindfulness. MIT Age Lab studied daily routines in older adults in 2021. They found that consistent, simple routines reduced cognitive load. This reduction allowed for greater emotional engagement. People reported feeling more alive during routine activities. The predictability created safety that enabled deeper presence. Routine became a foundation for spontaneous joy. Think about the simple pleasure of a walk. No destination required. No fitness goal needed. Just movement and observation and fresh air. This activates multiple beneficial brain systems simultaneously. The University of Michigan studied walking for mental health. Their 2019 research showed remarkable benefits for older adults. 20 minutes of casual walking reduced anxiety significantly. It improved mood for hours afterward. The benefits were equal to moderate intensity exercise, but the psychological experience was far more pleasant. Simple walking in nature activated the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest mode. It counteracts stress and promotes healing. No special equipment or expertise needed. Just you and the world around you. Ancient pilgrimage traditions understood this deeply. Walking as meditation, walking as prayer, walking as a simple, complete experience.
Now consider the joy of creating something with your hands, gardening or cooking or crafting or woodworking. These activities engage your brain in special ways. The motor cortex and sensory areas work together. The prefrontal cortex plans and problem solves. The reward system activates with each small accomplishment. Johns Hopkins University studied creative hobbies in older adults. Their 2018 research revealed powerful protective effects. Regular engagement in simple creative activities reduced dementia risk. Cognitive decline slowed measurably in hobby enthusiasts. The activities did not need to be complex or artistic. Simple, repetitive crafts provided the same benefits. The key was regular engagement and personal enjoyment. This brings us to the psychology of presence and acceptance. Older adults often develop what researchers call temporal wisdom. You understand that time is precious but not scarce. Each moment holds complete value in itself. You do not need to fill every second with productivity. Being is as valuable as doing. The University of Toronto studied this shift in 2020. They found that older adults experienced less time anxiety. They felt more satisfied with how they spent their days, even with fewer activities than younger counterparts. Quality of experience mattered more than quantity. This allowed deeper appreciation of simple moments. Let me share the concept of sensory appreciation. Your senses may change with age in some ways, but your capacity for sensory joy often deepens remarkably. You notice textures and temperatures and subtle flavors more. Food becomes an experience, not just fuel. Sunlight on your skin feels like a gift. The texture of a favorite fabric brings genuine comfort. Research from Monell Chemical Senses Center is fascinating here.
Their studies show that older adults often develop refined sensory appreciation. While raw sensitivity might decrease, appreciation and awareness increase. You bring more attention to sensory experiences. This creates richer, more satisfying encounters with simple things. A simple meal becomes a complex sensory journey. This is the brain compensating beautifully for physical changes. Consider also the power of social simplicity. Large social networks become less important with age. Deep connections with a few people become everything. This is not social decline, this is social optimization. Your brain naturally prioritizes meaningful relationships. Stanford researchers call this the positivity effect. Older adults remember positive interactions more than negative ones. You naturally gravitate toward people who bring joy. You let go of relationships that drain energy. This creates a simple, satisfying social life, quality over quantity in every interaction. A single good conversation can sustain you for days. Ancient wisdom traditions celebrated this focused connection. The Greek symposium was about deep conversation, not large parties. Confucian philosophy emphasized quality of relationships over numbers. Modern neuroscience validates these ancient insights completely. Finally, let us talk about the future of simple living. You are not behind the times. You are ahead of a curve that others will eventually follow. Younger generations are beginning to discover minimalism and intentional living. They are learning what you already know instinctively. Less can absolutely be more. Simple can be profound. Enough is a beautiful place to live. Your psychology is not diminished by age. It is refined and focused and wise. You have learned to extract maximum joy from minimal input. This is mastery. This is the art of living well. The psychology of enjoying simple things is not about limitation. It is about liberation from the tyranny of more. You have found freedom in simplicity. You have discovered contentment in the present moment. You understand that happiness lives in attention, not acquisition. This is not settling. This is arriving. Welcome home to the simple, beautiful life you have created.